Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to part 3 of our ongoing HTML course series for beginners. And today we'll be talking about HTML elements. And as you can see, we are moving with the speed of light. So HTML elements are the building blocks of HTML. Yeah. And they're actually used to structure content on a web page. It's just as simple as that. And while explaining, I will just quickly launch Visual Studio Code. As you can see here, I'm just going to double click on it. And then for those of you that don't have this software on your device, on your PC, that's because you didn't follow the last video, tutorial I made here. So just quickly go and watch that on how to set it up, and so we can work together on this. All right, guys. So now we're just going to create a new folder for our course. So you can see I'm just going to come over here and create a new folder. And this is what I will do. I'll open my computer, window E, and I'm just going to go to my documents here, and I'll just create a folder and call it HTML. Let's say HTML course. I can't spell course series for beginners. All right, so what I'm just going to do is to right click on this and open it with Visual Studio Code. So when I right click on it, and I'm just going to click on show more options because I'm using a Windows 11. So I'm just going to click on open with code, and you'll discover that this particular folder now has been opened in our Visual Studio Code, as you can see. All right, so it's as simple as that. And to say trust the author of all files in the parent folder, and I'm just going to yes, I trust. All right, so it's as simple as that. So each lesson will have a file. All right, guys, so I'm just going to click on this to create a I'm just going to call it HTML elements dot HTML. And why I'm using the .html is because whenever you're saving an HTML file, or whenever you're saving HTML file, you have to use the .html extension. And I already explained what HTML means in the first video. So if you've missed that, just go back and watch. HTML is hypertext markup language. All right. So I'm just going to, or instead I will just say, okay, since this is the third video, I'm just going to say 03 HTML elements. All right. .html, so we can have our course all nice and structured. Okay, guys, so today we are talking about HTML elements, right? So before I got interrupted, we're talking about the opening tags, which indicates the beginning of an element, and I also talked about the contents, which these are the structure of an HTML element, and we have the closing tag, and which I'm just going to explain right away. All right, guys, so whenever you have a blank HTML document like this, we are using Visual Studio Code, remember. So all I have to do is just to create a basic boilerplate, which I'm just going to do that by holding down Shift+1. And when I hold down Shift+1, I'm going to get this emet abbreviation, which I'll just click. And when I click on it, you can see it has generated the basic boilerplate I need for this document. All right, you can see couple of HTML elements over here. Like we have the head, and you can see it has what we call the opening tag. You can see which indicates the beginning of an element, right? Then this is the content. Whatever it's inside the element itself is the content. Like I said, I told you it's divided into opening tag, the content, and the closing tag, right? And this is the closing tag, and you can see this is different from this because why? And it has a slash which indicates the closing of this particular element. You can see. All right, same thing, we have the body. You can see the body, it has this opening tag and it has the closing tag. Same thing with the HTML too. You can see it has this closing tag HTML and it has this opening tag here, HTML. And we also talk about empty tags too. There are some tags that don't have a closing tag. They are self-closing tags, or they are self-closing elements, you get. So we'll talk about that in coming series. But for now, I just want you to understand the concept of HTML elements and get ourselves familiar with the whole concept. These are other HTML elements like the meta character set, which indicates the character set. The beautiful thing about using Visual Studio Code is the fact that you can just put your mouse over an element or an item and it will just explain to you what it means. And this is ASCII character set format or encoding format, which we are using UTF-8. and also this is the viewport. I think this is for responsive design on okay, this indicates that okay, take the width of the device and start at an initial scale of 1.0, and the title of your document, you can call these HTML elements. So we can give this as a title of our document, and I'll just save it, right? Control S. All right, so I'll just go over a few HTML tags we can try, and or few HTML elements we can try. We have the H1 elements or the heading elements. Let's just quickly see how that is. We'll go in depthly into all of this later, but for now I just want us to see something. So we have H1. All I have to do in Visual Studio Code is just to type H1 and tap enter. Simple. And you can see to generate the tag, right? Like I said, these are the structure of an HTML element. It has its opening tag, you can see, and it has its closing tag. Then the content comes in between. The content is what you decide or what you want to put in between, right? So I'm just going to say, hey, I am, let's say, learning HTML5, and Control S. All right, so how do we see this? How do we see what we are doing now? So it's simple. Remember I said what we need is a browser and our Visual Studio Code, right? So now we can open this up in a browser and see what we've done. So all I have to do is just to come to the folder where I have opened, and you can see that file will be located inside there, and I will just double click on it. You can see, and it's going to show, hey, I am learning HTML5, and this is the element, right? Okay guys, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and see you in the next video.